Today we are building this beautiful gaming PC and we used AMD's 9600X. This is their entry-level chip. In fact, they have 6 processors that are more expensive than this one, but I don't think you need to spend all of that money. Now before we get into today's video, make sure you smash that like button down below. Now let's jump right into the build. For the motherboard, we picked up the Asus Prime B650M, and yes, we did go to Micro Center and get their bundle deal for $299. This bundle did come with a single measly stick of RAM, and we are not using that. We picked up our own kit, more on that later. Now this is a pretty bare bones motherboard, but it does come with the essentials. It comes with Wi-Fi, 4 DIMM slots, 4 PCIe slots, and 2 M.2 slots, so some pretty decent expandability. Now, of course, we are using the 9600X. This is essentially a refresh of the 7600X. It has the same 6 cores and 12 threads, but with a slightly higher boost frequency of 5.4 gigahertz compared to 5.3. Now, it is doing all of this at a lower power draw at 65 watts compared to 105, so I guess you could say you're saving some money on your electricity bill. Now we are going to take advantage of the Gen 4 support of this motherboard by picking up a Silicon Power UD85. This is a 1 terabyte Gen 4 drive that I picked up for $53.99. I usually pick up Silicon Power or Kingston NV2, whichever one is on sale at the time, and I will be adding my own heatsink because the motherboard doesn't have its own. This one is about $5. There is a cheaper one I use from time to time, which is about $2. I will link both of them in the description below, along with every other part that we've used in today's build. I have become such a big fan of ID Cooling's Frozen series, in particular the A410, which is what we're using today. I picked this up for $29.99. Now it looks like they are coming out with more sizes and more styles, so be on the lookout for that. One thing I wish is that they took these red standoffs and made them in black. Unfortunately, they're not, so I have to color them in. I don't like when those red dots are sticking out in your build. Now, of course, we're using the best thermal paste you can get, Kingpin Extreme Thermal Paste. I use this for every build that is $1,000 or more. XESS is some of my favorite looking kits of RAM on today's market. I really enjoy their design aesthetic. It's very simple, just a little bit of gray, a little bit of black, some nice RGB strip, and then that chrome logo ties in perfectly, especially with today's build, with the cooler having chrome as well. And here's the final form of the motherboard. You can probably see why I put that heatsink on the M.2, because I don't want a blue stick of gum sticking out on the motherboard. It just doesn't look good. Quick little shot of the side of the cooler, no wires or anything like that. I'll show you where I put those in a second. And I wanted to get a good shot here of these standoffs. Do you see where they're colored in black, where they otherwise would just be red and sticking out like a sore thumb? It's a little blurry here, but I'll give you a shot on the end of it in a second. And here's a good shot at the RAM. It's absolutely beautiful in my opinion, especially next to this cooler with the carbon fiber wrap. I think it ties in very well. Now here is the cooler wire. All of the slack is wrapped up around the heat pipes. That way you don't see anything when you look in the PC, just that little bit of wire right there. I do know it's in the wrong connector, so don't worry, I fixed that later. And that's it. Now it's time to get her in the case. Speaking of the case, today we are using the Cypress 3 wood from Okinos, and big thank you to Okinos for sending out this case. And if you are wondering, yes, this is real wood. In fact, they send you a sample of it in the accessory kit, which by the way is pretty well loaded up. You get all of your normal screws, but you also get some standoffs, you get some radiator screws, and some PCIe slot covers. Now, this case does give you your standard USB 3, but you also get USB-C, which our motherboard today does utilize. You will also get 4 pre-installed fans. Just keep in mind there is no RGB. These are just standard PWM fans, but I think that's going to tie in very well with today's build. Now, one thing we had to do with this case was move the fans from the inside to the outside. Luckily, the front panel has enough room and allowed us to do this. Now, we did this because the graphics card we are using is too big and it will not fit in this PC case without moving the fans. Now, about these fans, you guys already know I don't like these stock logos that come on any case fans, so I put my own carbon fiber wrap on them, and I know some of you have commented in the past that it's not necessary, which I totally understand, but I have an attention to detail and I think it looks better. So just take it as an optional step. You can add them on or you can leave it alone. Now, our motherboard configuration required us to move these standoffs. I had to move one from the middle to the bottom. Make sure if you move your standoffs that you remove the ones that you do not need. If you leave a standoff that's not needed, it could contact the motherboard and short it out. That is a real problem that really happens. We chose the Apivia Prestige Go-To power supply. This is their 600-watt version. It is not modular, but it does come with black cables, which was very important because the bottom of this PC case is mesh, and you're gonna see this sticker. Now, one thing that I did was I removed this sticker. You see right there where my fingers are? You don't wanna see that ugly sticker, so I move it to the other side of the case. Don't worry, I don't just throw it away. If it was my PC, I'd probably throw it away, but this is gonna go to somebody, so I'll put it on the other side of the case. Now, one pro tip before you install your power supply is to zip tie the cables that you know you're not going to use. That way they are preemptively out of the way. This makes it so much easier when it comes to doing the final cable management at the end of your build. Look at how clean this looks without anything sticking through the mesh. It is just a clean look, even on the top. Well, actually it looks like there's one more sticker I need to remove, but that kind of proves my point. You don't want anything peeking through the mesh. You have to install some Asia Horse cable extensions. They are only about $20, $21. I think right now they're 19 bucks on sale, but they really improve the look of your PC, and it's probably the cheapest way to increase the aesthetics. I'm starting to think that I picked up the last 7700 XT in the world. I mean, ever since I purchased this, I cannot find another one, at least not at a reasonable $400 price like I got this one. This is such a good value GPU, and it pairs perfectly with the 9600X, as you will soon see in these gaming benchmarks. Ooh.
Too slow.
I need to heal.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
I don't know about you, but this PC has thoroughly impressed me. I mean, we're talking about the 9600X, which is essentially the base CPU for AMD, and we're getting all of this performance. I mean, we got 190 FPS in Call of Duty Black Ops. That's not just a good gaming experience, that is a competitive experience, almost 200 FPS. Not only that, but in Fortnite, 1440p, we're getting 400 FPS. I know that's an easier to run game, but 1440p, 400, that is crazy. Not to mention Cyberpunk, 116 FPS in 1440 and 193 in Forza. We're not going to talk about Valorant. We all know that's pretty easy. I like to play it anyways, but I gotta tell you, these are some high numbers in a $1,000 build. What I would recommend is spend $1,000 on your gaming PC, and the extra money, use that to get a good monitor, get a good keyboard, get a good mouse. Use that for your peripherals, because it's pretty easy to get carried away when it comes to building a computer. Kind of like myself if you're a PC enthusiast. Now, if you want to build this exact PC, every single part will be linked in the description below. Now, if you don't quite have $1,000, check out this $500 build that we just did on the channel. Now, before you go, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you are new, comment if you have something to say, and make sure you put God first in everything you do. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.